said, like, I don't know what to do. And I was kind of in the camp of he's no good for the company doing this. He's not going to perform 100%, and he's only going to make that injury worse.
Kevin Ferry's now coming out. He'll be the next man to attempt 900. JF, you know a little bit of something about this event, having the world record at a time, and you competed in many World's Strongest Man's competitions. I've been fortunate to recall. There's a strategy to this, though. If you know that you can do higher than 900 laps, a lot of these guys will just pass.
Yeah, but I think you guys will have different strategy and want to know what the other athlete will do. But of course, if the strategy is about putting 3 tires for a warm-up, that goes straight maybe to 4 tires. It's different.
Yeah, it changes the lift. When that fourth wheel goes on there, it then changes the sort of flex of the bar. So essentially, you could end up with the highest weight with 3 tires on there would feel very different to the 4 tires. With no added weight.
Coming up at 900 pounds, the next weight would be 950 pounds. American Kevin Ferry's now. Just hits it off the ground. Ferry, who currently sits in 10th place after day number 1 on 25 points. A nice motivational builder, momentum builder for him. I think we'll go backstage now and wait to see what's next.
I mean, we're talking about, obviously, the homicide, they're a big thing. These guys are still lifting 900 pounds of their opening lift. It's just, the numbers are just crazy these days. It's maybe slightly easier than the regular deadlift, maybe a little bit, but still, you still got to put that weight through your body, which is incredible.
So it's Evan Singleton, who is scheduled next. Singleton going through the preparations, and see a lot of these guys come out, and Terry, you'll see the wrist wrap, you'll see the knee wrap. Some guys do it a little more au natural.
Yeah, I mean, most of these guys, obviously, with the sort of weights they're going to be lifting here, there will be a limiting factor. So I don't think you'll see many guys going without straps on this, but yeah, I mean, I know that one thing Brian's very, very particular about these competitions is there's no deadlift suits being worn, and none of these guys got suits on at all. For anyone that doesn't understand as well, a deadlift suit does help you lift a little bit more weight, so Brian doesn't agree with them, so that's the way this competition is, which I actually agree with as well.
Yeah, T-Rex, no problem there, 900, so successful.
I think every one of those guys, like I talked about earlier, the floor is very explosive. Yeah. That could actually trouble him a little bit when the weights get bigger. Hopefully not, obviously, but it could be a bit of an issue.
So Evan Singleton is successful. That takes us to the next athlete who is scheduled to come out. That is Alexei Novikov of Ukraine. Alexei has the world record, as we pointed out, just 8 pounds better than our colleague here in the booth with us, JF Corona of Canada. 1,210 pounds put up by Alexei Novikov. Now, JF, he's not in the same shape he was when he set that record. He's been battling injuries like a lot of you guys. What do you expect from him today?
This weekend,
27-year-old Alexei Novikov, 6'1", at 300 pounds, steps up to the bar 3 times his body weight at 900 pounds.
Here we go. It was quite interesting with Alexei. When we were commentating on him when he broke the record, he was almost making the first few lifts look difficult, and they were getting easier as he was going. It was very interesting to watch.
Alexei walks out, takes out his earbuds, gets done, puts the earbuds right back in. So 4 athletes have gone, 4 have been successful at 900. Thomas Evans will be the next one to come on out. North Carolina, now living in Delaware. Stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, 360 pounds.
popular term in the zeitgeist right now. If you're dating someone and every time you try to go deeper with them emotionally, it's like you're hitting a wall. Oftentimes that person is actually just not that interested in you. And I know that that's hard to hear, but if we can reframe it as, if someone is actually not interested in really knowing me and interested in really sharing about them, they're just not for me. Then there's the person who they have a really hard time with emotional intimacy. That's very difficult too, because if you're wanting closeness and you are capable of that, that's a very difficult thing to deal with, but you have to end it quicker.
When a client comes to me and they say, I keep going back over and over again, I'm not getting my needs met with my responses. Well, I go to an empty well for water, and if you're going to that same well over and over again, then ultimately your needs are going to go unmet.
Thomas Evans now, 900 pounds. Winner of last year's Open competition that earned himself a spot into the big show with the pros. So Terry J.
First, I think most of them will take it at least.
In case you're wondering, you're watching from home, what is going on behind the maximum tire deadlift? That contraption is the standing chest press, and that is coming up next, and it is a monstrosity. You won't want to miss that. But this is Maxime Boudreau out of Ontario, Canada. 31 years of age, 6'4", 340 pounds, staring down the barrel of 900 pounds. JF Brown, how about if you call this one in French?
Is a much better for Brown, but I think it will be disappointing.
So Maxime Boudreau not feeling it at 900. That is a lot of weight, 900 pounds. So from Boudreau, Canada, we'll go to Luke Stoltman. Now this guy hasn't had the best competition so far, guys, that we've seen so far. Luke currently sitting in second to last on 11 points. And this is an I think probably favors Luke. He's not having to move around a lot. He has to strengthen that back and those legs.
Yeah, I mean, Luke's he's not the strongest leg, but he's certainly strong enough to get the first few lifts. Yeah, I mean, I was chatting with him last night and this morning. He's not had the best day yesterday, and he seems a little bit sort of, you know, almost confused by it because he feels in great shape. He's just not, something's not firing right. So there's a little bit of jet lag's got to him, the altitude, you know, it could be a number of things. But I'm sure today will be a better day for Luke.
Luke Stoltman out of Invergordon, Scotland, 6'3", 365 pounds, still battling strong at 38 years of age. Gavin Bilton is the next man now. He comes to us, by the way, from Philly, Wales. He is a huge individual at 6'6", 385 pounds. And Terry, you watched him yesterday. He struggled a little bit. He had cramps in the car lift press. He also looked like he had some issues with the elevation, but he's here battling on the second day.
Yeah, and he started to come right, didn't he? The first couple of events he maybe struggled a tiny bit, and then he sort of did get progressively better through the day. He had a decent stone run. I expect Gav to have a good day today. He's a big deadlifter. He's great with the throwing event as well. So I see him having a much better day today than he did yesterday.
JF, for the people watching at home on the live stream, what is the difference for the guys that come out and wear shoes, and then you got guys like Gavin who come out and just compete in their socks?
It's just closer to the ground. Like short as possible will be better is going in normal shoes. And I will say it's maybe one of the only events you're at that thing when you're shorter, I will say.
Gav was really fired up there. He's probably really excited. Gav's like a massive fan of strongman as well, and he's watched it for years. So him probably getting a chance to lift on that hammer type deadlift because he's seen so many big lifts done on it in the past would be a great moment for him. And yeah, I expect big things from him on this event. He pulled really well there.
JF, asked you as Ivars Schmuckstelis of Latvia comes to the bar at 900 pounds. What do you do after day number one to get ready for day number two? What was your routine like?
Our routine was just eat and relax, and just try to focus one event at a time. But I think the guys were a little bit taxed after day one because it was hard they would say maybe leg press was the hardest, you know, events for the athletes. They said, oh, hard pulls are Evans.
That was a slow burn for Ivars. He kept his head down and just eventually brought it up for the drama. But it is successful at 900 pounds. So that takes us down to the final four competitors. We'll have Trey Mitchell, Mitch Hooper, Brian Shaw, and then Tom Stoltman will go last. Okay, so what we're hearing is Trey Mitchell is going to pass at 900, which means we move on to another great Canadian in Mitch Hooper. What is it about the Canadians? What are you guys eating up there? Is it the poutine? What is it that keeps you so strong?
We eat beef for sure, you know, the Canadians are big, like, you know, we have a lot of good athletes in Canada right now, level is going up a lot, and really pleased to see it first. Canadians when he walks on his man this year with Mitch. It's really amazing to see the guy improving that fast, and he can get a good culture from those athletes.
To be fair, Jay, you're probably one of the reasons why the standard is so high right now, because they try to follow before you do that.
Yeah, maybe also we put very hard competition in the country too. Oh, very explosive.
Well, it's still going through the Jay Perron, an absolute legend in strongman across the globe, as Mitch Hooper makes quick work of 900 pounds and jogs backstage. Competing in his final event. This is his final day of competition. And I gotta imagine this is, I mean, he's physically taxed, but emotionally, I think Brian's just starting to think about, he spent so much of his life getting ready for these moments, preparing, obviously spending time in the gym, and it's all going to end today.
Yeah, this is his last run, he knows it, and I think this event will be the key for Brian today. He needs to perform. He told me he's in good shape, feel great today. I expect big things today for Brian.
I totally agree with you there, Sam. I think this is the crucial moment for Brian. We know the next three events are going to be good for him. This is the one that's been a little bit up and down over the last couple of years. He had a really severe hamstring injury a few years back, and it's taken him a long time to rebuild that deadlift strength back up again. At one time, I mean, I believe if I'm right, Brian did have the record on this at one point as well, so...
Yes, it was over, I think, 2017 or 22, something like that.
Yeah.
Back in the Arnold Classic time, was really strong, but we'll see that first lift.
Let's not forget, he is 6 feet 8 inches tall, 425 pounds, 41 years of age, four-time World's Strongest Man champion. Brian Shaw, the namesake, retiring after this...
Before every celebration, there's a moment of anticipation, of energy, of excitement, of possibility. Macy's is here for all of it. Celebrating a special year of 100 parades, 50 fire